Good morning. Thanks for stopping by Garden State Weather and gardenstateweather.blogspot.com, your source for weather information for the northern mid-Atlantic 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. I'm forecaster Robert Smith, and this is our Garden State weather bird out there, and he is cold. It is very cold out today. We've got some watches and warnings, obviously, for the wind chills and for the bitter cold. We'll discuss the forecast going ahead. This is the forecast discussion for Tuesday, the 7th of January, 2014. These are the current temperatures as of 7 a.m. this morning. I don't think I've seen this kind of cold air in several years, actually. And we've got some really cold temperatures this morning. We have 4 degrees below zero in Teetertown, which is in southwestern Morris County, I believe. And also, we've got temperatures below zero here in Sussex County, 5 degrees below zero this morning at 7 a.m. in Wantage. It's going to be very difficult to get that car going this morning. 4 degrees below zero at Mekong. These are the actual temperatures. When we factor in the wind chill, we've got wind chill readings that are 0 to 20 degrees below zero. It feels like 19 degrees below zero in Charlottesburg this morning, 19 degrees below zero also in Wantage in northern New Jersey. In Sussex County, it feels like 22 below zero at Pittstown. This is unusually very cold, dense Arctic air. 20 degrees below zero is the wind chill value at Basking Ridge, New Jersey this morning. Just bitterly cold air, and all the cold air here with the wind chills extending all the way through the entire New Jersey, New York City, Philadelphia metro area. National surface map from weatherroanoke.com and digital atmosphere software shows that the polar vortex, or a lobe of the polar vortex, is scooting out now into Atlantic Canada, and we are having heights that are building across the south central United States all the way to the east coast, but we're still maintaining a very strong gusty northwesterly wind in this confluence, and as a result of that, some mid-level disturbances moving across the region as well, but most of the precipitation coming in from off Lake Erie on that westerly to northwesterly wind is away from our region. We'll show you that in just a moment. The big news, obviously, is the bitterly cold Arctic air that is in place. And we do have some record low temperatures this morning set in Newark, New Jersey, a record low of 3 degrees. This breaks the old record of 10 degrees back in 1996. So this was around the blizzard of 1996, actually. This is the anniversary of the blizzard of 1996, the 6th, 7th, and 8th. I went through it as a forecaster here. And temperatures were 10 degrees when that blizzard was going on here in the Newark area. But today, it's clear skies, but temperature 3 degrees. So that's the old record for this date back in 1996. And had we not looked this up, we wouldn't have remembered that today is the anniversary of the Great Blizzard of 96. And we'll talk about that in a special conversation broadcast video later today. And I'm sure when the reports come in this morning, we're going to have more records broken across the region. But there are some records here that are just at tide right now, and temperatures this morning at about 8 o'clock this morning already rising in Sussex County at 0, if that's warm, -1 in the other airport here in Sussex County. Temperatures Mount Pocono 8 degrees below zero, Avoca Scranton 4 degrees below zero under clear skies and strong northwesterly winds. We've got winds at 10 to 15 miles an hour, some gust into the 20s here, and that's producing wind chill values of 10 to 20 degrees below zero. Dangerously cold to be not bundled up outside. Frostbite can occur within 15 minutes on exposed skin. All of the northeastern United States pretty much covered by wind chill advisories and wind chill warnings. It doesn't really matter. Northwest winds at 20 to 30 miles an hour with gusts up to 40 through Wednesday morning means wind chill values of 25 to 35 degrees below zero, hypothermia and exposure outside. And also frostbite can occur within 15 minutes of exposure on exposed skin. Very dangerous to be outside naturally during today, tomorrow, and possibly on Thursday as well. Gale warnings until 6 o'clock this evening across the coastal waters, until 12 a.m. on central and southeastern Long Island Sound until Wednesday morning, and also on the north shore of Long Island, south shore of Connecticut until midnight tonight, and also till 6 o'clock on the coastal waters from the New Jersey coast down into the Delaware and the back bays here as well until 6 p.m. this evening. Visible satellite this morning shows the clear skies across the region. basically, and we've got some cold air cumulus, and you can see this in the striations as the winds are advecting from the northwest with that colder air over the relatively much warmer ocean. We can see the striations away from the coast as some of that cold air rushes in over the coastal waters about 20 miles, 20 nautical miles out. Water vapor this morning also showing a little bit of moisture in the mid and upper levels of the atmosphere. This is associated with the confluence between high pressure to our south and west and the Arctic cold low pressure area lifting out into southeastern Canada, and this is resulting in northwesterly winds across the region. As such, we have some snow showers over Lake Erie, and most of this precipitation will remain away from our region during today. A better look at this again on the reflectivity of the northeast base kilometer reflectivity composite here, showing some of the snow showers coming in across upstate New York from off of Lake Erie. On the aviational weather deck this morning, we have strong northwest winds and VFR conditions across the region. At Newark this morning, 5 degrees, and that's at 9 o'clock this morning. And the dew point's negative 17 Fahrenheit. The wind is out of the west at 22, gust to 33 miles an hour. Makes the wind chill feel like 16 degrees below zero. A few clouds at 4,500 feet. And we're going to have just a few clouds across the area, scattered clouds across the area from late this afternoon through tonight. The big story is the winds and the wind chill. Winds out of the west at 22, gust up to 30 knots. And basically some scattered clouds early tomorrow morning too, with the winds backing out of the west and dying down at about 10 knots by tomorrow morning. Philadelphia, same thing this morning, 5 degrees, dew point negative 17 Fahrenheit, humidity bone dry 35%. The wind is west at 20 miles an hour. The wind chill 15 degrees below zero, a few clouds at 4,500 feet. Generally, some scattered clouds throughout the region this afternoon through this evening and overnight tomorrow. Again, the winds out of the northwest or westerly at 14, gust to 22 knots, dying down to around 10 knots out of the west during tomorrow morning. GFS forecast into notice the Arctic vortex here, polar vortex over Hudson's Bay, Canada, and it's pulling away to the north and east. But this mean trough, notice all these low heights here in the atmosphere. Strong northwesterly to westerly winds across the region today. Those winds will begin to abate tomorrow as the center of high pressure begins to move towards the mid-Atlantic coast states. Still, we find the baroclinic zone here, very tight pressure gradient. Winds will begin to back around to the west tomorrow and die out with generally clear skies. A few clouds around the region, but most of the clouds coming in from off the Lake Erie and Lake Ontario. That should remain to our north and west out of the forecast region. It's going to be a slow moderation in temperature as we get through the day on Wednesday. Temperatures rising just a little bit, and even so on Thursday as large area of high pressure is in control of our weather. And then by later in the weekend, especially later on Friday and Friday morning, we're going to find high pressure now off the northeastern and mid-Atlantic coast states, and an influx of moisture coming in from an inverted trough here, with moisture coming in from off of the water. And this is going to increase the cloud cover with a few disturbances moving through the region. There could be some scattered showers around the region as well. And by the time we get into the weekend, here comes our next cold front with a low pressure system over south central Canada, driving in moisture from off of the Gulf of Mexico into the Tennessee and Mississippi River Valley areas. And that's going to spread the chance for moderate rain around here from Sunday afternoon through Sunday night, and then generally moderating temperatures a little bit. Here's our next vortex, or our next low here in central southeastern Canada, digging a trough across the central part of the nation as we get through the day. As this trough here combines with moisture from the Gulf of Mexico, moderate to heavy rain will spread across the region once again on Monday afternoon through Monday night, and this could cause some flooding concerns on top of the snowpack that's now in place. Here's our forecasted temperatures as the vortex moves into southeastern Canada. Find a moderation in temperature, still quite chilly with temperatures negative 20 degrees Celsius. And this is at the surface, so this is very cold air. This is bone-chilling cold air. Temperatures below freezing as we go through the day on Wednesday. A moderation in temperature once again, and the moderation in temperature will continue through Saturday as temperatures begin to rise back into the 30s and 40s once again across the region. Now, as we approach Sunday afternoon and Sunday evening, a trough will be forecasted to move through the region. Temperatures will begin to plummet a little bit, but we wait for next disturbance and very mild air to soar into the mid-Atlantic coast states on Monday and Monday afternoon with moderate to heavy rain. And as that cold front moves through the region, we're going to keep a main trough axis here across the upper Midwest, and a slight moderation, a slight cool down again by next week, but nothing like we're seeing right now. And then we wait for late next week for the next vortex to move through. Polar vortex once again to southeastern Canada, lobes of low pressure spinning around the vortex, and very cold air poised to drop back into the region by late next week. That's going to do it for today. We'll have a special edition with the remembering the blizzard of January 7th and 8th, 1996, a little later this afternoon. And don't forget, stay warm, and obviously stay warm, and stay indoors. It's just brutally cold. This is the coldest air mass we've seen in about 10-15 years across the region. For Garden State Weather and GardenStateWeather.blogspot.com, I'm forecaster Robert Smith. We'll be talking with you. You have a safe and enjoyable Tuesday.